Welcome, my little couch potatoes, to the comfiest courtroom on the internet. I'm your host, Llama, and it's time for dramatic testimony, overruled objections, and absolutely unqualified opinions. So grab your snuggiest blanket, some delicious snacks, and get ready to watch court with your internet besties. This is Couch Court with Llama.
Bring the jury.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Yay. It's another week.
It's
That's
Monday.
all I got for you. It's Monday. I'm barely awake. I'm barely functioning. I locked myself in my bedroom all weekend making spreadsheets and plans. It was amazing, but
yeah, it was amazing. She ignored me all weekend.
I know. How'd you survive? How did
I
you
didn't.
People have been on the
paced.
bolo for Llama. Where is she? Where is she? Why isn't she around?
I paced pathetically, mumbling to myself, lost in my own despair because you weren't there.
Well, good morning, everyone. So this week we had a little bit of a wonky week. So on Friday, we started reading David Gingras' vlog transcripts when he decided, you know what, I'm going to take to the YouTube streets and I'm going to do my own, videos to go over all this stuff. And maybe that'll clear things up. Maybe that'll bridge the gap between JFC, the cult, and David and Laura. It doesn't do that at all. As a matter of fact, it was incredibly painful. And we have lots of them. We have lots of them in order to finish out 2024. And I was like, listen, I can't do more of this like for the next several weeks. Like we got to put it all in 1 week. I can't do it. I can't. It would give me nothing to look forward to. And I can't do it.
Oh man, it was so bad that I was like, I didn't even have you to wallow in my misery. I was like, no. I am so not looking forward to trying to read the look. I know I stutter. I know I jumble over my words, but man, this guy,
get it out already, sir. My goodness, his videos are as long as his filings. Like, jeez.
Oh, yeah. The funny part is when he's like, this is only going to be a 5-minute video. 45. Well, I mean, I guess we really can't say anything about that. We do.
I will never be like, yep, I'm going to wrap this up in 2 minutes. I have never in my life been able to do that. I wish I could, but I can't. So we decided to cram them all into this week. So we only have to suffer for 1 week, friends. And then after this week, we wrap up 2024, the Laura Owens timeline, and we get right into 2025, which means that the body cams are coming next weekend from the search warrants that we finally get to watch. And we get to reread the investigation report, knowing everything we know now. Like, I was thinking when I was planning stuff, into September and stuff, I'm like, damn. Like, we've been covering this since February, and we're still like 2 years behind in being up to date with everything. But that one I've had to break down into certain topics because a lot happens. You think it's over. Yeah, it's not. So we're just going to throw them all in this week. So thank you for suffering with us in advance. Buffy did something really nice, though. Sometimes she does nice things. She took the transcripts and turned them into actual, like, readable paragraphs and took out all the ums and uhs. So bravo, Buffy. Gold star for you. See what happens when I leave you alone? Look how productive you are.
I have to do things. No, I just couldn't go through trying to trying to figure out what was actual words and what was just stuttering. I was like, I can't do this. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. So, I'm sure it's not perfect. It was as perfectly close as it was going to get. But it'll probably make a hell of a lot more sense than the jumble garbage that was in the transcripts from the videos.
So that's what we got for you this week. Wrapping up these, there's some Laura Owen blogs thrown in there. There's also Owens v. Gillespie OOP hearing thrown in there too.
An oop?
An oop? Yep, indeed. So we're going to do a crash course at the end of 2024 this week. So you get us low coverage today, Thursday, and Friday. Tomorrow, just on Couch Court with Llama. We will be finishing and getting all caught up with the O'Keefe v. Karen Reed. So a lot of completions this week, which as a completionist, I love this for us. And then, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And then the week after that, we are getting right into Higgins, Albert McKay, the Reed and Turtle Boy, which I was in deep this weekend. And listen, if you've never heard of the Karen, or I don't know how you haven't heard of Karen Reed, but maybe you didn't watch the trials. Maybe you don't know much of what's going on. You're like, man, it seems like too late to really invest in that. No, no, because I came up with a fantastic plan. We're going to learn all about it together in real time because I had several people in that chat who didn't watch either of the trials. So with the Hanvey, Reed, and Turtle Boy, you don't know anything about them? That's fine because the complaint's going to tell us. It's going to take us like 3 weeks to get through this damn complaint with all of their links to shit. And then on the weekends, we're going to do Karen Reed trial rewatch parties. So I'll make sure you all are taken care of on the couch, okay? I'll fill you
Man,
out.
there are so many innuendos going on in this whole conversation here.
By the time we're done, you are going to be an expert as well. So that's what we got in store for you. Happy to kick it off this week with some low because we haven't been able to focus on it very much, but here we are. And it's going to be a good time. So,
It's like trudging through peanut butter. See, she saw it too. Completionist.
Flamingo Ranch. I love that. Hello, Mama. All right. Well, let's get into it because, like I said, we are going to cram as much of these David vlogs into every day that we can. So it's a lot. All right, you gonna go with
Buckle
the
up.
first one? Because you got the caffeine running through your veins. I just
Oh,
woke up, so.
you can hear it, huh? Sorry, I'm
Mhm.
like I'm on
That's okay.
like speed this morning.
Oh wait, do you want to share it so that way you can move it around?
Oh, she's making me
Rob.
practice.
I
Hey,
know.
Rob. She's like, no, you're gonna learn how to do this shit so that you can do this shit when I'm
Well,
not
while you're
here.
pulling that up, that too,
Well,
and then there's no excuses. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? That's what I figured you were gonna do.
Over the weekend, I think it was Saturday night, Rob dropped a new video about this guy in Arizona and this lottery scandal. It seemed very, very interesting. So I'm gonna look into it more. But Rob has a video. If you haven't watched it, please do. He also has slideshows, which I enjoy. Can never say no to a slideshow.
Okay,
So
I don't know if I
go
did that
check
right.
Rob out this weekend or this week, I mean. So
Is that
there
mine?
you go. Yeah, that's yours.
Look at me. I'm so smart. Look.
Real professionals over here, guys.
No,
Just
I
kidding.
am definitely not
We're
a
not.
professional. And I definitely never claimed to be.
By the way, and last night when I was getting a shower and stuff, I forget what B was talking about, but I was like, excuse me, I am arguably famous on YouTube. And he was like, what did you just say? I was like, first of all, how have you not heard me say that? I say it all the time.
Right?
And I was like, it's a David quote. Come on. He never pays attention to me. Ever. But,
can you see this? Because I can't see what's on the screen. No.
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Shift it over to the right. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. So it's centered. Keep going.
a little over. You're almost there.
Going.
See?
And you might want to
So much
extend it
more
a
to-
little bit. There you go. Okay. That's fine. Go for that. Yeah.
All right, cool. I might figure this out.
My dogs are chilling outside right now, just laying on the porch because it'll
be 5
super
seconds.
Nice.
And she'll be asking to
All
come
week.
in.
Probably. Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
Is this the
sorry.
right one?
I think so.
I don't like this. Yeah,
so just a second. The date on this one is
it's November the 20th.
November 20th, 2024. Oh, it says it right in the title.
Yeah.
It's entitled David Talks About Laura's Appeal. In case it hasn't been talked about enough, he wants to talk about it some more.
Well, it's
so yay.
He's really proud of it.
Is he?
You know, it sounds like it. He sounds very proud of it. Okay.
All right. Let's get into it, friends. Buckle up. Get your drinks.
bring in my inner Gingras here. I don't like this. I don't like the portrait mode. Man, a stick? I don't want to be in portrait mode. Okay, well, no one's watching, so that's fine. Hello, I'm gonna take the stick away. I didn't know you could.
Wait,
I've
hold
never
on just a
live streamed
second.
before.
Oh, that was going to be my question. Like, has all his other ones just been videos and this is a live stream? Okay. Hard to tell because we don't have the videos. This is what happens when you get
Yeah,
banned from YouTube. But okay. All right. So this is his first live stream. Okay.
isn't it cute? And
That's
that's
funny.
why nobody's watching anyway.
And
because
nobody's watching.
like
Join the club, David.
no people in his live chat. That's cool. He's like, I've never live streamed before, obviously. And the thing about YouTubing and all of the things in life is practice makes perfect, right? You've got to do it to learn how to do it good. Anyway,
Wow.
it is Wednesday morning. It's about 8:45 now, coming to you from beautiful Arizona. It's
What's
a
the
chilly
dew
one
point,
this morning.
David?
Like,
What's the dew point?
he sounds like a radio guy. It's a chilly one this morning. 55 degrees when sorry, 55 degrees when I just left the house. This is my daily routine. I walk 5.5 miles every day for exercise. And I figured rather than sitting in front of a camera talking about stuff, I would just do it on the hoof. Kill two birds with one stone.
Okay.
I'm going to keep this really short.
He does not.
He does not keep this really short.
No.
I just want to talk about the fact that JFC released our full brief yesterday. That is absolutely fine. No problem. I didn't have a concern about it. It's a public document. Everyone's allowed to see it.
Okay,
The concern was I didn't want people to read it without having some input from me first, which I've given, so that's fine.
Okay. So what do you have to say about it? Also, shouldn't it just all be in there anyway? But okay.
Well,
All
yeah, if you have to explain your briefs and you didn't do a good job with your brief, I'm just saying.
Right?
The comments that I've seen about it, though, I knew this is the confusion I was trying to avoid. People are saying, hey, Gingras, why aren't you showing proof that she's pregnant? And also Omar, who I spoke to yesterday. We actually had a call with him and Laura, not intentionally, but I was talking to Laura and Omar called. And I asked if he would mind letting Laura come in on the call. And he said, that's fine. So we had a little chat. But anyway,
Did
Omar
they go to Top
also,
Golf?
they had nachos and beer.
Oh.
I don't know. He's just on the phone.
date.
He probably just took he put him on FaceTime and brought him to the Top Golf. But anyway, Omar also had a video where he talked about my appeal. And he said, I think something along the lines of, in order to win, I have to show Laura acted in good faith. She filed the petition in good faith. I think that's what it said. And that's similar to people saying, why don't you produce that? And that's similar to people saying, why don't you produce a sonogram? Why don't you show proof that she was pregnant? Oh, I've got two people watching now. Hi, guys.
Love it.
He's so cute.
Nice.
Like, you're adorable.
I mean, who isn't
Also,
obsessed with Omar? I'm just saying. I can't even judge him. Who isn't?
Well, it becomes like increasingly obsessive because I had the unfortunate privilege of reading these over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So it just seems, yeah. So, yeah. So it seems that it becomes very progressive in here. Yeah.
Do you think it's carved on a tree somewhere? DG plus OS forever.
Oh,
arrow. Probably.
You froze on me and you were a little kind of robot-y.
I am? Am I still robot-y?
Yeah.
I am? I'm robot-y?
Not
Okay,
anymore.
Oh,
It
okay.
just,
Well, never mind. It wasn't a great joke anyway. StreamYard thought so. So
I'm sure it was
fine.
hilarious.
It was
I'm sure it was
hilarious.
hilarious, and I definitely
Absolutely.
would have laughed if I heard it.
Absolutely. Basically a stand-up comedian.
Basically. Practically. Okay. So, I also got a DM on Twitter last night from someone that I'm going to do a little video about. The DM was a reasonable length, but the comments that people are asking are focused on this issue. Was Laura pregnant? That's what everybody wants to know. And the appeal doesn't address that. And I think people could easily be confused about why that is. So I just want to briefly explain. The stage that we're at right now, where we're at in the appeal, in the Court of Appeals, the legal arguments that we are making have nothing to do whether or not Laura was pregnant. Laura would never allow. Well, it doesn't. We read the appeal, right? It doesn't even say that.
Yeah.
Laura would never.
I think anybody could read that 73 pages of an appeal and realize that that's not going to be a thing solved. But don't worry, he's going to explain it to us.
He's definitely going to tell you why, because this
I lived my life without him in it before.
You know what? I understand so much more legal argument now that I've read these blogs and these vlogs, and I am especially expert on the Rule 26 safe harbor.
Oh, I don't ever want to hear it again, ever in my life.
I'm just going to shout Rule 26 whenever somebody doesn't let me admit I'm wrong and let me have it. Rule 26, I get to off ramp here.
Right, you get into an argument with Mr. Buffy. Excuse me, you did not file a certificate. I am entitled to 10 business days of safe harbor, sir. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait. Otherwise, sanctions.
Yes, it's just the way it is. Okay,
works. Why not? Why not?
Laura would never allow me to do this, and I'm not going to do it. But I could have said in the brief that we stipulate for purposes of the appeal that Laura was not pregnant. The arguments that I'm making are legal. They are not factual, which actually made me laugh a little bit. Because it's like, they're not factual arguments. I know what he means. He's not arguing the facts of the case. He's arguing legal arguments, but just the way it was stated was like, these are not facts. I don't argue facts. I just make shit up as I go along.
Which does happen. So maybe we're thinking wrong. Maybe we're thinking that is what he's saying, but it's the second one. Maybe it is the second one. I don't know.
Maybe I'm giving him too much of a benefit of the doubt. Like, oh no, maybe he is saying, argue the facts because I'm a liar.
Because there's only like 2 facts. The rest doesn't make any sense. But carry on.
They are not factual. The legal arguments regarding Rule 26, safe harbor sanctions, sua sponte, and how do you do that? This is about procedure. The issue was the correct procedure followed? If the correct procedure was not followed, it does not matter if Laura was or wasn't pregnant. That's why we don't go into that in the appeal. And it's not because I don't think there's tons and tons of evidence that she was pregnant. I absolutely do think there's tons of evidence that she was pregnant. I think Clayton has some evidence that calls that into question, and that's fair.
Are you? I can't. Tons and tons. Sir, your only argument has been 5 pregnancy tests. That's like it.
But that's like tons.
That is like 5 sheets of paper.
It's not even. It's like plastic. I need to get better lighting here. Oh, hey, Fern French. Okay. Oh, Fern Church. I'm sorry. I said French, but it sounded better the way I said it. I don't know. Okay, let me just show you something because everyone thinks Arizona is a desert. How can we do this? We have cows, man.
We got cows.
That's like Twister. It'd be like cow.
Mm-hmm.
Another cow.
I
think that's the same cow.
Because I imagine you as her, like if you came to the Midwest and you're just like, what is happening? Sorry.
No, we have cows here.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
We have cows.
I do not associate Louisiana with cows at all. Because you
have cows.
have gators and snakes and scary animals.
We also have gators and snakes and raccoons and all the creepy spiders.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. But we also have cows. Now, we don't have them like here. You have to go kind of out into rural because I do remember I was like, oh my gosh. My ex-father-in-law had cows. And it was so funny because he had to explain to me what the difference between cows were. And I remember he used to raise them and kill them. This is a side quest. Anyway, like raise them and we would eat them anyway. We'd go over there and he'd like, hey, this is a real cow, not that store-bought stuff you buy at the, the grocery store where you live, city girl. And it was just funny. So we do have cows, but it's usually out rural.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. My sister lives in Tennessee. My sister owns cows, by the way. Arizona, believe it or not, is actually pretty. Where I live is rural. I say Phoenix, but I live in a suburb. Wait, is it rural or is it a suburb?
Right. Those are not the same things, but
Because
okay.
I live in a suburb. Like the cow people here are very rural.
The cow people.
They're also next to the horse people. So
Oh.
we have cows. And I walk by the cows and try to relax and get some nature time in. Okay, getting back to the point. See, I diverge too. I divert. I hate the sun being behind me. This lighting is so much better this way. Should I walk backwards? That's really weird. Anyway, the whole...
You need a producer, David.
He's just walking around with his selfie stick. Anyway, the whole
he
point
is,
here...
isn't he? I forgot it was vertical.
That's why he said, I'm taking off this stick.
Yeah.
I don't need this stick. Yeah. So I was like, oh, he's walking around with a selfie stick. Okay. I do appreciate him narrating his actions so I know what's happening.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, the whole point here of the appeal is legal errors, not factual errors. So we don't have to show that Laura was pregnant. That just doesn't have anything to do with it. I said on page 1 that it is almost irrelevant to the court's tasks. The issue is, did we follow the law? Did we get the law right? I've explained that Judge Mana did not get the law right, in my opinion. The safe harbor that we're talking about and Rule 26 has nothing to do, and I just can't stand that bad lighting. I'll stop for a second.
Is he you?
Is he me?
Yeah. Yes. I can't do this lighting. The lighting's bad, Llama. My stuff isn't working right, Llama.
That's why I said when I was reading, I was like, man, I really can't hate on him because we are so much the same person. Like, it's almost like if I'm making fun of him, I am making fun of myself, which I guess is okay, but I do a lot of the same shit. Sorry. Okay. The safe harbor has nothing to do with the wrongdoer being innocent. People who are guilty of wrongdoing, Rule 26 and Rule 11 in civil court, I kind of think of it as an off-ramp. What do you want to call it? They call it a safe harbor. Let's say Laura, I'll play Clayton's advocate here. Let's agree that Clayton's right and that Laura lied about everything. Rule 26 gives her an opportunity to stop, and that opportunity was never given in the right way. Wouldn't claims that he talks to Laura's attorney one time on December 27th. Laura filed a motion to dismiss the next day. If we follow the rule exactly as it's written, the case should have been over that day. That's why I'm asking the Court of Appeals to put us back to that position. That is how the safe harbor works. If Laura lied about everything, she had an opportunity to stop. The whole point of that is that by stopping and taking that off ramp, we would have saved the court's time. We would have saved everyone's time and effort. The rule is set up that way to encourage people to do the right thing. The opportunity to do the right thing just never happened because of the way that Woodnick kept going. He threatened sanctions, I guess, on his phone call, and then he filed a motion for sanctions after a motion to dismiss. You can't do it that way, in my opinion. And if the Court of Appeals agrees with me, we win, and the case will be over. There will be nothing more to do as far as proving Laura was pregnant. Not proving she was There will be nothing more to do as far as proving Laura was pregnant, not proving she was pregnant. Okay. I'm going to do a video today about that issue in response to this DM I got from someone. I'll maintain her privacy. What I was going to try to get people to understand is we are not even close to being done with this whole game. Using a metaphor that Clayton might appreciate, this is like halftime.
Oh, geez.
It's like halftime.
Because he played football.
Right?
Okay. Didn't he play for the NFL? I think.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I remember hearing that.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, he said he's mentioned guilty in that last paragraph you did. It was like he says something along the lines of well, if it's guilty, it's a person's guilty of wrongdoing, it's an off ramp. And then he goes, hypothetically, if she wasn't ever pregnant, it's he keeps pointing it yeah. We're hoping this goes through because she's kind of in a fuck ton of trouble right now. But they don't know that yet, though. She hasn't been charged with the felonies yet. Oh, David.
No, but it was just sent to the DA, right?
Yeah, in the timeline, yes.
Right. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay.
But he knows, come on. He knows that that's bad news bears. Okay.
I would say we're at the part of the third quarter. We're in the first minute of the third quarter. The score is Clayton 7, Laura nothing. The Court of Appeals level is
She's
basically
such a loser.
Clayton 7, Laura nothing. You need one touchdown and a field goal, and you're fine.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. How about that? The Court of Appeals level is basically the third quarter, and we can go through this appeal. They will issue a ruling. There's no opportunity for the court to say, yeah, we're not going to hear your appeal. They have to hear us. They're going to hear us. And when they issue their ruling, someone's going to win. Someone's going to lose. I hope and predict that the results is what I asked for as the primary relief, that they say, okay, we'll send it back. Mata, dismiss with prejudice. If
what
that is what happens,
land does he live in?
This is his fanfic. This is his headcanon that he went in and wrote up of how the story should end.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true, Echoes. That's a fair point.
If that is what happens, Clayton, it's still not over. Then we go into the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter would be the Arizona Court of Appeals. Sorry, the Arizona Supreme Court. The Arizona Supreme Court does not have to hear whoever loses at this level. So if we lose, we could go to the Supreme Court. It's called a petition for review. And if you're basically asking the court's permission to let them hear you. They can deny that. They can just say, nope, we don't want to hear you. Goodbye. And if that happens, we're pretty much done. You could, in theory, go to the U.S. Supreme Court. It's never going to happen. So Court of Appeals, where we are right now, we're in the third quarter. Supreme Court is the fourth quarter. There could be overtime, God forbid. He just rambles. Anyway, what I wanted to say, and I'll end this right now. Spoiler alert, he does not end this right now. All I'm trying to get people to do is understand why we're arguing what we're arguing, and why we're not arguing over pregnancy. It's not a concession. It's not an admission. It's not because I don't want to. It's just not how this process works.
Right.
At this stage, we're just not allowed to do that. I'd love to have a second trial in the Court of Appeals. We can't. So I'm going to talk to, I don't know if Omar wants to. I feel like I've offered so many times to come on his thing, and he's kind of lukewarm. I mean, he's been very friendly and professional on the phone, so that's cool.
So you're kind of well, I don't think he likes me, but he's been nice on the phone. So, okay. All right.
He's not cold. He's lukewarm. He's just kind of like, meh. you know, but he's been nice to him on the phone. He's just meh. Like, yeah, dude, I don't want to be friends with you. It's like he wants friends. He wants friends.
Yeah. But he's too aggressive and smells his own farts too much. And that's why people are
Well,
like,
he's
yeah,
pompous
no.
and very arrogant and has this like, I'm smarter than everybody, which is such a huge turnoff, you know?
Exactly. There's a very big difference between arrogance and confidence. He does not know that, though, at all. Don't like it.
Oh, it's what my uncle used to say. I was trying to think of a saying. I used to say he's so conceited. He said, I'm not conceited, I'm convinced.
Mm.
And like I adopted that for a while, then realized how pompous. I
Hashtag
thought it was funny
humble.
when I was a kid. Okay, when I was a kid. Anyways, hi Jupiter. And I said before, I'm not trying to insult him or question his knowledge or anything like that. I wasn't trying to troll him by saying, yo, you're not admitted in Arizona. I'm just saying I would appreciate people staying in their lanes. All you non-lawyer keyboard warriors out there, you keep doing your thing. It's cool. It's fine. I'm not trying to impress you. Your opinions are not the ones that matter here. No offense. It's 3 judges in Tucson that I care about. I've done this. It's interesting that nobody really wants to hear my side of things. I would say this is probably the 20th appeal ballpark. I've done lots and lots of appeals. I saw someone post a comment about, oh, Laura should hire an appellate lawyer. I am an appellate lawyer, among other things.
Okay. All the things. He's an arbitrator,
He is.
appellate lawyer, regular lawyer of other things.
You know, when you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none.
That's true. That's true.
So appeals are not new territory for me. It's not all I do. But sometimes out of necessity, you have to. So I'm comfortable doing this. I think I know what I'm doing. Am I wrong about the law? Well, we're going to find out. Yeah, we are.
Bird lawyer. Bird lawyer who killed 2 birds at the beginning of this one with a stone.
Who?
David said it at the beginning.
Oh.
And
yeah.
Lafitte said he admitted to being a bird murderer.
He can argue that.
PR lawyer. They needed a PR person. My God. What?
Yeah, and it should not have been David.
It should not have been David at all. He did not make things
because
better.
he did not help. Yeah, I would say he did not help her case at all.
No.
I mean, both in the literal sense and the public sense.
I don't know. Like I think you could write it. He could, but I don't know. I don't know if he is going to help her with this one, but we'll see.
Oh, does he still have his license?
In California? Yeah. I don't think he has anything pending in California. I think it's all in Arizona.
It's just a matter of time.
Yep.
I just personally think, having been in lots of other cases where people have been accused of lying and people have taken that off ramp, that's how it's supposed to work. You let people that are doing something wrong, you give them an opportunity to do the right thing. And if you read my brief, there's a couple of cases in there. There's Westerkamp and the other one. Ratcliffe, is it? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hang on. Sorry. They talk about this. I guess he is apologizing to someone in the chat because of something. I
can only imagine what our transcripts look like. Look like we're deranged. I'm sure
we do. It does, because then you like derail and it's like, what the fuck are these people talking about? It is hard to read a transcript. It really is, especially when it's not like as parsed as like it's just, it looks like just run-on sentences, honestly. So this was helpful. Okay. They talk about the idea of sanctions being what we do after a person has been given a chance to do the right thing and then they refuse. That is how the rule works. Omar's stream was talking about, Of course, the court has inherent. I should do a better Omar impression. I'm going to do a better Omar impression later, not right now.
I thought that was you saying that. I was like, really? Okay. I didn't. Okay. What?
No,
How are you going to do
that's mm,
it? Never mind.
that was Gingras. That was not me.
Oh, I can't
That was
imagine what his
literally what he
impression
said.
was.
But he was saying, well, Gingras is wrong because courts have inherent authority to sanction. He is absolutely correct about that. Courts do have an inherent authority to sanction. The question is, what's the procedure to do that? How do we do that? Do we just walk into a court and a judge goes, I sanction thee. I don't like you.
What?
He's so
No.
dramatic.
So dramatic.
Or do we have some due process? Is there some process that we should follow? That is what we talk about in our brief. The general concept under Rule 11 in civil court and Rule 26 was basically copied from it. Is you give people a warning and you give them a chance to. I can't read the, hang on. Oh, I see. Okay. My eyesight sucks, guys. I see that there's some comments here. What rule am I talking about? Well, now that I'm just seeing that, I don't know which part of the rule I was talking about. Rule 26.
By the way, it is really hard to see the chat when you're on a phone trying to. I don't know how people do it. I can't.
You have to give people a warning first, and then you wait. It used to be 21 days. Now it's only 10 days, 10 business days. But 10 business days. But you give them a chance to think about it and do the right thing. And if they want to, they can take your threat and walk. And when they do that, the reward is you don't get sanctions. Okay, remember, this was supposed to be a 5-minute stream.
And he keeps insinuating that Laura was doing things in bad faith, being a liar, and this was her way to get out of that. That's literally what he's saying. Every time it's about wrongdoing and lying in this hypothetical.
Right. Like I say it all the time. He practically throws her under the bus and backs it over and then does it one more time for good measure every time he talks about anything.
Every time.
And I don't understand why he does that.
He can't help himself.
I don't. Is it like subconsciously? Are these like truthful thoughts, like Freudian slips? Like he knows the truth and he just can't, like, you know how they say the body doesn't lie. Like you're always gonna like slip the truth in, even when you're trying to lie. Yeah, it's what it kind of sounds like he does. All right, so I think when you follow along with my legal thinking and then look at what happened in our case and look at the facts that I've explained in the statement of facts, I think you'll see what the problem is. It's just a premature motion filed by Woodnick and the Mata doing things just kind of completely, I don't want to say backwards, but just not in the correct way. For her to rule that sanctions were moot and then sanction Laura, I don't like going into appeals or any legal argument when I have bad facts on my side. I think Woodnick's team is going to struggle with that.
Oh, this age is like milk. He's so confidently incorrect about what happens in the future.
If I'm the Court of Appeals, I'm going to ask them, how can a judge tell a litigant that the issue is moot and then rule against the litigant on the exact same issue? Oh, Lord. Like I said, I'm not the smartest lawyer. I promise you I'm not the smartest lawyer in the world. I'm not the smartest person in the world.
We know.
Things that don't make sense don't fly in court.
Birds fly.
The ones he killed in the earlier part of this video.
Exactly.
What happened here, in my opinion, doesn't make sense. Hang on. I'm going to try and read some questions here. Screw the lighting. I want to see the cows. I think you guys probably want to see the cows.
Moot.
It's like following a transcript is like, he's like trying to figure out how to turn the camera around. Like, I know you guys want to see the cows. Do they really? I don't know. I think you're trying to deflect.
I think so.
Can you work in the Seventh Circuit? I have. I'm licensed to practice in California and Arizona. I've argued in the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is ironic because that is the Court of Appeals for the state of Tennessee. I argued and won the Jones versus Dirty World case in the Sixth Circuit, which means that is controlling precedent for everyone in Tennessee. Do you know anyone in Tennessee who benefits from internet free speech? Because I'm the one that set the law on that. I mean, it doesn't matter. It would have gone in favor of the point I was arguing anyway. I've argued in the Sixth Circuit. I've argued in the 10th Circuit, which is in Denver. I've argued there. I've argued in the 9th Circuit many times, which is where Arizona is. I've done state court arguments, and I don't know how many places. I have argued in front of the Arizona Supreme Court before. Anyway, what are the other questions here? What's the brief number to read? I don't know what that means. He's reading the question. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I put a link, by the way, on my Twitter. I put a link to the full brief that has the working hyperlinks. The JFC version, as I suspected, did not have working hyperlinks because it's a copy. So if you want to click the links in the statement of facts that go to every part of the record, which is just pleadings and stuff, it's stuff you've seen before, but it's all tied in there.
Okay.
You can get the full brief from my Twitter. Link in bio. That was me, not him. Okay. Need to have sanction needs to be done. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, by the way, I'm involved in another case involving 3D printed pew-pews. It's a copyright case in Florida. I said pew-pews just because I don't know what YouTube does, but guns, whatever. I have had some trolls reach out to me. My website was hacked, which is no big deal. We're fixing it today. But I've heard people reach out to me I've had people reach out to me pretending to be clients. It's like an old trick. I don't know where people get this idea. Here come the cows.
Here the cows again.
Another cow.
This is all moot, David. Listen to the cows.
And there's cows. Okay. It's not uncommon for people to reach out to me pretending to be a new client, but actually they're an adverse party and they're trying to either pick my brain or create a conflict. Guys, that just doesn't work. So please don't do that. Let me see here. Goatee, I'm chill. What do you think my percentage of winning the appeal? Hang on a second. Let me think. I'm gonna think about that.
Okay.
Can I switch the camera? Does it let me switch the camera? Nope. No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does. Hey, we have cows.
We have
We have
cows.
baby cows. Can I zoom in? I can zoom in on the cows. Hello, baby cow. Like I said, it's painful, right? Like I said, my sister has a cow. Her family has a cow farm in Georgia. Oddly enough, they live in Tennessee, but they have a cow farm in Georgia. So I like cows. Cows are good.
Okay. David likes cows.
Cows are good, guys. Cows are good. Cows are good. What are my odds of winning the appeal? I think you can never say 100%. That's stupid. 90, high 90s. It's a well-known thing that as an appellant, as the person who is appealing and trying to change lower court's result, the odds are roughly 10-1 against it. Most appeals are not successful.
Yeah, but he's getting himself 90%.
But he's special, okay?
He's so good at it.
But he's special. Most people who are appellants are just trying to relitigate the facts. Oh, I lost and don't like losing. I should have won. Those kind of arguments are very, very unlikely to ever work. I don't think we're in that category. We're clearly in the legal error category, and that's the most likely to succeed. I've told people this is about the law to me. It's not about the facts at this level. That's why if I thought that the appeal required, hang on a minute. We've got one more little thing here. I'm sorry. I suck at this stuff, but I'm going to get better. Laura, if you're out there and watching, there you go. That's for you. There's your little horsey friends. This is a farm near my house. They have a bunch of hay and stuff. Hay bales, whoever that is, a dirty canal. It's pretty though. So hay bales were they talking to hay bales? Whoever that is.
Well, I mean,
Canada.
hay bales is with the Padlet group. So
yeah, I know,
sure
but that's why I was wondering.
They're known to David.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought maybe that was a kind of a mention there, but I don't know. It's just kind of like, is he talking about hay bales or is he talking about hay bales? Anyway.
I don't know.
Okay, it's pretty though. So what was I saying? My stream of thought.
Okay.
If I thought that the appeal required a victory on the facts, if I thought that the only way we could win the appeal is if I could prove Laura was pregnant, that would be a completely different ballgame. The odds of succeeding with that would be 0 because under the laws, I explained. I don't know if I explained. I guess I did a little short video. The Court of Appeals is not going to relitigate the facts. They're just going to defer to what Mata did. If there is any evidence to support a factual finding, they will say, that's fine. We're going to leave that alone. If Mata made a factual finding, as we know she did, that doesn't have evidence to support it, they can reverse that. Anyway, okay, hang on. People are talking about some things.
All 3 people watching. Too much.
There's a discussion happening.
Oh.
If you get permission to appeal, you have a chance. I don't know what that means. I say that all the time when someone says something that I don't understand. I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Yes.
Have I heard of the Nick Rada case? No. Okay, let me scroll back here. I can see I missed all these comments. Wow, I didn't know anybody would even watch this. 25 people.
Oh,
hey,
shit.
whatever. Okay, I think this is enough for now, guys. I need to get out for my walk. Like I said, I'm going to do a little video later in response to the DM I got because I think the DM spoke to issues of my behavior, some of the things I said about other people, and also the person was concerned about me kind of missing the point, I guess, and not addressing JFC's side of things. I want answers to questions as much as you do. My hands at this stage are tied as far as the facts go, and that's just what the law says. It's not because I don't want to argue the facts. It's not because I don't have the evidence to do it. I just can't legally do it in this venue. So we have to do it later at some other time if we're going to do it at all. Anyway, I'm going to walk and get my 5 miles out of the way. There's chickens here too. This is a great little farm. Anyway.
Old Gingras had a farm. Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching the live stream. I'm sorry if I pissed anybody off. It's unavoidable that I'm the face of the enemy. So, of course, you're not going to like me. I don't even care if you like me or not. I don't.
Yes,
I do want everyone to at least
He
understand.
very much cares.
Doing. Oh, he definitely cares. That's why he keeps feeling the need to explain himself. I don't like all the comments on Twitter. I'm never going to get JFC to believe my side of things. Factually, that's okay. I know I'm struggling to get you guys to understand me legally. I see he was leaving. What happened? Weren't you done? Weren't you going to get your 5 miles?
Here again.
And he's still trudging. Actually, it's kind of like me. I will tell you bye 10 times, but still continue a conversation for another 45 minutes. My challenge remains to Omar. Show me an Arizona lawyer who knows what they're talking about, who disagrees with what I'm saying. I don't believe you'll find one. And if you do, the person doesn't understand Rule 11 in civil court or Rule 26 in family court.
Anybody else with a different opinion, fuck it, they're wrong.
Thing. Because I've dealt with this. I've dealt with Rule 11 many, many times. It's just something you have to deal with when you're a civil litigator. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Any last minute comments? Listen to all sides. Believing is a different story. I agree with you. Believe what you want. Believe what you want to believe. Are we going, he's reading the comments. Are we eventually going to have a Netflix documentary about this? I would support that. I'm a free speech guy. I want people to have information. I want people to have answers. I have a lot to say about a lot of things. I never realized that I had so much to say.
So much.
That's what I said. I texted you when I was transcribing this, and I was like, he's so fucking funny when you can actually understand what he's saying. Because he's just like, I didn't realize I had so much to say. You are so not self-aware, dude. You have a lot to say in everything you do.
Yes.
I'm actually a shy person naturally. Me too, Gingras. I am a naturally shy person. Believe it or not. I'm not doing this for attention. I hate doing this. I feel compelled to do it because Laura deserves someone to talk about her side. How boring would it be if you only ever heard one side? There's an argument why we're going to win. We're going to win. Is there a chance we won't? Let me add one thing. I don't want to give Nick too much help. And it doesn't really matter what I say anyway. See, it's like we go down. It's like we're finishing. And then he's like, get worked up again.
Every time.
But I think there's an old saying that when the law is on your side, you argue the law. When the facts are on your side, you argue the facts. And when neither is on your side, you pound the table or yell at the other side. I'm arguing the law.
Okay.
Yeah, now you wonder. You know where you he thinks he is. He thinks he is. I'm arguing the law because the law is on our side. And in the Court of Appeals, that's really all they want to hear about. They don't want to hear about the facts. My prediction is that Woodnick's brief is going to hammer the facts because I just think that's the only thing he can do. I think he'll paint Laura as he tried to do to me at the beginning. He'll say, oh, she's a serial pregnancy faker. Mata found that she lied about all these other men, which how on earth would Mata have found that? Because the other guys didn't testify. But that's what I expect is a lot of mudslinging. And if that happens, I know I've won. That will be the easiest argument I've ever had. If Woodnick gives them 75 pages of Laura's a bad person, that will be my easiest day because I will walk into court and I will say, I don't care if she's a bad person. Safe harbor is for everybody.
Oh, she fucking sucks. Right? But still,
I don't care. I don't even care. I don't even care. We do not care. Actually, if you think about it, it's kind of only for the bad people. What?
Sir, do you realize what you're saying?
Why'd you say that?
This is why you should do this. Okay. Oh.
Actually, if you think about it, it's kind of only for the bad people. Because why would you need the safe harbor if you didn't need it? Is that a legal argument?
No.
Screen door on a submarine, man. That's my saying. Okay, last. Who would you have playing? I'm not even going to come close to saying Brad Pitt. I don't know. Somebody cool. Edward Norton used to be cool when he was younger. I don't know if he's done anything lately. Christian Slater, is he still around?
I could see Christian Slater being Gingras. That's a good one.
I could see it. I could see it. Yeah. I could see it.
That's a good one. I'll
because
give you that
we saw
one.
it. Because when he played on Dexter, right, it was the resurrection. Like he fits the look. I think he could do it.
I think he
write
could
that
do it.
down. You should make a request
so we can become casting agents for.
I feel like we should cast this. Can we cast? Can we do our own cast? We need to. I think y'all should like tell us who
Yes.
you would cast in the different roles because I'm curious. Okay. I'm getting to be old, man. My hair's getting gray. It's funny how quickly time goes by. Okay, now he's gonna reminisce. And that is one, by the way, when I said that thing about Dave Neal and his kid, I'm going to address that at some point. When I made that comment, I had a specific reason for saying that, and it wasn't to insult Dave. It was kind of a warning from the future. I had a client who was like, Dave, I had a client who was like Dave and went down that road and started having kids. He was a controversial guy. People who know me know who I'm talking about. That client wound up stepping away from what he was doing, running a website that people thought was kind of hate speech. He did that because he didn't want the other parents at his kid's school to take it out on his children. And he's never been happier. He stepped away completely from that line of work. He's making 10 times, 100 times more money now doing something better for the world.
Oh, so we were supposed to know all of that when he talked shit about him and having a kid. We were supposed to know that whole backstory.
Yeah.
Shut up, David. You meant it exactly how you said. Own up to what you say, for fuck's sake. Pull some Nene links. I said what I said.
What I said, right? No, he's not going to stand 10 toes
I
down.
love you, Nene.
He's going to come up with some kind of he's going to backpedal. It's
100%.
not good for me because that was a huge litigation client for me. Wait, it's not good for me because that was a huge litigation client for me. I read that wrong. I'm trying to channel back. Okay. But I've been down this road. I've seen where hate leads you, and hating on other people. I don't mean to sound like a hypocrite, but hating on other people is just not the way forward. I agree. And Dave Neal has said, love. Let's spread love and be loving. I'm down with that. So just leave Laura alone.
Okay.
My mom's texting me. Here's her flight information. Yeah, Mom, I know you're coming. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm walking. David, you mentioned Clayton. What about the sanctions he requested in his original response? He said he was leaving. Wasn't he? Oh, no. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm walking. He's just going to walk. We're not watching the cows anymore. Is that what's happening? I don't know. Was there a motion? Did he file a motion for any of that? I never saw one. If he did, putting something in a response to a petition is great. That is not a... If you read the rules of family law procedures, he's got to stop mid-sentence, and now we got to educate everybody. If you read the rules of family law procedure, and I think I quoted this, it's in a footnote in the brief. The rules require, if you want relief, you have to move for it. Why do you have to move for it? Because that's the process.
No, we're back. You have to move for it if you want it. Move.
You got to move. Well, we are back on cows. Who knows if we're talking about the cows, we're talking about the brief. It's very confusing. It all seems to be just like merging into each other at this point.
Moo.
So why do you have to move for it? Because that's the process. How on earth, and honestly, sorry, this is going to run long. I wanted this to be like 5 minutes.
We know.
Yeah. This is only page
how many more pages?
26. Like, did you see that?
Still 10 more pages of this one. Oh my God.
All right. Okay. Buckle up, kiddos. When we went into trial that day, I kept saying to myself, why are we here? We're not here to fight about paternity because there's no baby. We're not here to fight about Rule 26 sanctions because that was withdrawn. There's no motion for sanctions. And yet we're here talking about sanctions after we had an order that said the issues of sanctions was moot. The reason that you have to have a motion if you want any relief at all is just straightforward due process. You file your motion. You ask for relief. Laura files a response. She explains why you don't get that relief. You file a reply. The judge then rules. That's what a motion process does. It sets up arguments and gives everyone an opportunity to say what they've got to say.
Thank you for explaining that to us, David.
Do you feel smarter?
No idea. It was just miraculous. Wow.
Thank you for explaining the motions process. That never happened here. And we walked into a trial where there was no, I mean, again, think about the standard of the burden of proof and the standard of review on appeal. We didn't have anything for the court to decide other than what Clayton, I think, wanted the case to be. He wanted it to be an abusive process or a defamation case. He wanted to prove that Laura lied about everything. That is a civil claim that you can bring in civil court under a variety of theories. Abusive process. Well, he's just going to file off all the things she did wrong. Look, he's just going to lay it out for Clayton. Here you go, Clayton. If you want to go round 3, here's what you can do. I won't charge you for this advice. Okay. Abusive process, malicious prosecution, defamation. There's a number of different claims you could bring in civil court. Family court is not civil court.
I mean, I get that argument. I think, also Clayton was just like, this is now though, like I don't want to go and restart a whole
No.
process.
And I get it. I can understand both sides and that and people hate me always for that. But I can understand both arguments. Like he's already like, no, let's have this case heard. I don't want to go through all that again to bring something else. Let's do it while we're here. I also understand his argument that this wasn't the venue for it. So, I mean.
Well, apparently it was though. So.
I mean, apparently it was. He got the outcome he wanted, but it was just, I can understand the arguments being made. And I don't necessarily agree with them, but I can understand without agreeing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Family court has subject matter jurisdiction. I need that soundbite from Daryl Brooks.
Oh God, no! I don't ever want to hear his voice again.
Family court has subject matter jurisdiction. Yeah, right. Over only the family law statutory issues. Judge Mata, I think, arguably did not have subject matter jurisdiction over the issues that were tried. And if I'm right about that, technically, a judge who's deciding something outside of their subject matter jurisdiction does not have judicial immunity. There's case law on this, and I've researched it. It's a complicated area. I'm not trying to say that Laura is going to sue Judge Mata. It does sound like that's what you're implying. That's a very complicated issue of judicial immunity. There's governmental immunity issues. There's all sorts of, we're not going down that road. What I'm trying to say is going into a trial when you don't really know what the legal issues are that you're fighting over is just a textbook due process violation, which I didn't raise because I didn't need to. But I think if Clayton tries to sort of go down this road of everything the judge did was proper, it just wasn't. We went into a trial where there were no pending motions for sanctions. So these hypothetical arguments about, well, there are other laws that the court could have used. I agree. There are other laws the court could have used. Where was the motion? Show me where there was ever a motion for that relief.
Okay.
Didn't happen. Okay, here we go. There's more questions. Yeah, it's just a response to a petition, goatee guy. It's not a motion.
That's IT goatee.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, who is goatee guy? Okay.
Well, I don't know for a fact that it was him, but I'm going to go with it is.
It probably is.
He was probably in that chat for sure.
He's conflating Rule 11 for civil procedure with family. It's separate nonetheless. Yeah, I agree it's separate, but read the rules. They're virtually identical. The verbiage is minimally different, not in any way that would matter. Okay. Hey, the farmer's dropping food over here for something. Guys, appreciate the live stream. Thank you for watching. I don't have a Patreon. Don't send me money. I don't need it. Oh. One last thing, but you can send me money. I can drop my Venmo. No, I'm just kidding.
That is true.
One last. So you can send me money. One last thing. God, I just can't stop, can I? Yeah, that's what literally everybody has said since you came on the scene, right? Is that God, he just can't stop.
He just can't stop.
He's just compelled. On the issue of money, something to stop and think about here. I charge $400 an hour. That is what clients actually pay me.
Wow.
Whether Woodnick actually charges $650 is something I would be very interested to know. I don't think that's likely. But I've spent about 80 hours so far on the appeal. 400 times 80 is 32,000. And if I win, I have the option of, well, we put in a request for fees. The fees would be 32,000 plus the time on the reply, plus the time going down to Tucson to argue it.
$32,000 to write an appeal that didn't probably need to be as long as it was. I'll be honest.
Does it look like he spent 80 hours on that appeal? No.
I don't think so.
No, it seems like he copy cut and paste the same thing and just put it in every paragraph.
Pretty much. Holy shit. That's wild. But don't worry,
I
he's doing
don't
it for
have
free.
to. No, is he?
And his last one, he said that
he got paid.
no, he got paid for the trial, but that he was doing the appeal for free, is what he said in the last video. Mhm.
It's because he probably knew he wasn't getting paid. I'll just do it for free. That makes you feel less bad about not getting paid, right? And I don't have to limit my request to $400 an hour. The rules in Arizona, you can get a reasonable attorney's fee. And because I'm doing this without Laura paying me at this point, I'm doing it based on the expectation that we're going to win, and I'll collect fees from Clayton. I can increase my hourly rate to way beyond what it actually is, as long as the fee is reasonable. I can ask for basically anything. Oh, I would use this against you so hard that you just jacked it up because
In the last one, he talked about how he was an arbitrator to decide if attorneys were charging too much or not. And I was like, I can do whatever I want.
Well, he does say he can do it as long as it's a reasonable, like he can't charge like $2,000 an hour, because I guess between a certain pay scale is reasonable. So he could say 650, even if it really is 400. But the point is, he's doing it to be malicious for no, like it's
you mean in
that's the part
faith?
I would argue. Yeah, it's in bad faith. Like it's not what you're charged. You're just doing it to be a dick now. I can ask for basically anything. So my expectation is if we win the appeal, I'll apply for fees. And if the court grants them, I'll explain again at that point. I'll look at the actual time spent, look at the results and the work that went into it. It could easily be $75,000 that Clayton has to pay. And if we win and we get a judgment against him, like I said, he has the option of going to the Arizona Supreme Court. They don't have to hear him. If they think the Court of Appeals got it right, they can just go, you're done. So this is not a game with zero risk. It's not a game with zero risk for Laura either. She's got a $150,000 judgment against her right now. And I'm sure that Clayton will ask for fees in the appeal. And if he wins the $150,000, well, I don't know. I guess I'll charge $1 million. Hang on a second. Anyone else? No other comments? You honestly believe? Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. This appeal has nothing to do with whether or not Laura was pregnant. The appeal, I don't know how many times I can say that. The appeal and the outcome of whether we win or lose has nothing to do with whether or not she was pregnant.
Oh my God, we don't need you to keep saying it.
Well, they keep asking. It has nothing to do with whether or not she lied. That is what the safe harbor is for. It is a safe harbor for people who make honest mistakes.
Oh.
And it's a safe harbor for people who commit outright fraud. And that's what the cases I've cited in my brief say. It's for people who are honest and also liars, okay? I'm not going to tell you which category she lands in because there are felony charges pending. But I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Okay, I gotta say. And that's what this case is, and that's what the case that I've cited in my brief say. I think it's from that Radcliffe case, or there's another Ninth Circuit case that says we have to reverse the award of sanctions if the correct process wasn't followed, even if the underlying case was frivolous. Even if it was frivolous. So this concept of, oh, the Court of Appeals isn't going to like us because Mata said bad things. I think the Court of Appeals is going to crush Mata. I think they are going to crucify her because what she did makes the other judges look bad. And I think when bad conduct happens, especially by somebody in a role of authority, the consequences should be severe.
Oh,
I
wow.
predict.
Says him with his bar suspension hearings and shit. Oh,
Well,
man,
you know, he wasn't actually thinking that it was gonna he was gonna have to eat those words, that he was gonna have to do this. And I think, okay, I expect that the Judicial Conduct Commission is going to file charges against Mata if they haven't already. What they do is secret. I do not know what they're doing, so I can't make any claim to that. But what I can tell you is this. They have not informed me that my complaint is over, resolved, dismissed. That means it's still ongoing. And I think the process is that they would ask her to respond to my charges, my complaint. I think she's done it. I think she sent something to them and they're looking at it and then deciding what to do about it. Oh God, here we go. I just can't stop. I have a new theory.
Oh, great.
Do you know he's going to tell you what that new theory is?
Oh, God, I can't wait.
I have a new theory. And I'm not going to talk about it right now because it's too complicated.
Obviously. We're going to talk about it later, I'm sure, though.
But I have a new theory that actually it is possible that my claim as far as Mata doing independent research could be wrong.
Oh, David. Oh, David. Okay. He's something else. He's something else.
Oh, yeah. And under the ethical rules, wait, what I said could be wrong. And under the ethical rules and Ninth Circuit precedent, and under the First Amendment, I'm not going to be disbarred for making an allegation that I believe was true. If it turns out to be true, to not be true, as long as I had some good faith. You know, he's like really on about this good faith basis. You know, as long as you had a good faith basis,
as long as I believe,
totally fine. It's
'cause I'm
totally
Peter
fine.
Pan.
You can say whatever you want to, as long as you had a reason to think that, right?
Right. Exactly.
Even if you didn't really, you can just make up one. Okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
And damn well, I sure do. I'm not going to be disciplined or disbarred for calling out what I saw and what happened. But I have a theory.
Okay.
Sorry, Fluffy song. But I have a theory that there's a separate way that this could have gone down that didn't involve Mata doing independent research. I don't believe it's very likely. I want to say it when you can see my eyes because I don't like the sunglasses look. I mean, sir, what? Safe harbor doesn't apply. You're right. I guess that's the chat. Safe harbor doesn't apply. You're right. Well, it doesn't. That's right. Read the Radcliffe case. Understand that a court cannot, on its own, convert a defective Rule 11, but Rule 26, same. Can't fix an error by a party seeking sanctions by converting it into a motion sua sponte. You can't do that. If you think I'm wrong, Radcliffe says I'm right. This is a published, controlling Ninth Circuit case. It's not controlling on Arizona. They can use it for persuasive purposes. The rules are essentially the same. And again, Mata never, if she wanted to sanction Laura sua sponte, I believe she could. She would have to issue an order to show cause, which Mata never did. The cases I've talked about explain that a sua sponte sanction has to be something similar to contempt. So it's almost like something bad happens directly in front of the judge that the judge has personal knowledge of. They can then hold people in contempt. You can't do it for things that happen somewhere else. But the remedy is a penalty payable to the court. So how is $150,000 in sanctions to Clayton a penalty payable to the court? Yeah, okay, Zini, whatever, dude. I love the dialogue. I honestly love the dialogue. There's
Your
no
dialogue, or I think
Yes, his inner dialogue. He really doesn't
somebody,
want to hear from you guys.
that one person that like left a comment that was like, "You two just love the sound of your own voices." Well, have you met David? David really loves the sound of his own voice.
Wait,
So
we love the sound of our own voices. Are we supposed to sit on our YouTube channel and like not talk?
yes,
Because that just
yes,
seems like, why are you doing? Like, then what's the point, right?
I know it's crazy that a commentary channel show where the people, have conversations. And I know apparently we did not know the rules of YouTube. So
Yeah,
what
we
are
are
we gonna
supposed to
do?
cover things only within 24 hours of something happening. After that,
Yeah.
it's
And not
it's a
talk about it.
documentary and best left for Netflix.
Yes, exactly. We made a list.
Because all YouTubers are breaking news channels, apparently. You can't just talk about something to learn more
Right.
about it.
Right. Thank you
All
for all
right.
the unsolicited advice that nobody asked for
Yes.
in the comments.
And
Thank you.
that's why it was free, because you get what you pay for.
Oh, anyway.
There's no part of the JFC side of things that I don't like, except for the misinformation. Being dishonest and not telling the truth and trying to say things that you don't know. That I don't like. But argue all day long. That's what we do this for, guys. I have a job because people disagree. And courts exist so that we can have neutral, detached people who don't have their parents sitting in the courtroom and don't have their sister fanning out over one of the parties. We have
Okay.
neutral judges making decisions so that we don't have to fight each other. Got that? That's why we're doing this. We just let the judges tell us who's right and wrong. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me see. Last chance. Jesus. Okay, it's too much, guys. I'm just going to go walk. I'm not trying to dodge the questions. I wanted this to be 5 minutes, not 30.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to all of you. Dave Neal, he said the HCG tests were meaningless. I have a retired, I'm done, but I'm going to argue this last point.
Of course.
I have a retired chair of the OB/GYN department at one of the largest hospitals in Phoenix who has the exact opposite opinion, backed by years of government research. And Dave Neal says HCG tests don't count for anything. I've got more than that. I'm not going to make that argument right now. I've got to walk, guys.
He did. I forgot about that. He does, because we haven't gotten to Rob's case yet. And we will soon. We're getting closer. But he did bring his mom to Rob's case, I believe. I think I remember hearing about. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Can't wait till we get to that. That
Was
part.
she there to fawn over?
Maybe.
All right.
Look, Mommy, I'm a real lawyer.
Okay. I'm not going to make that argument right now. I've got to walk, guys. Thank you so much. I don't even know. I'm probably going to screw this up and the phone will keep running in my pocket. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye. He said it just like that too.
He did. And then he blogged about it, is what Rob said. So, wow. I'll tell you what, he's always never
Wasn't
a dull
that
moment.
fun, guys?
And what's fun? Oh man. I don't know if we're gonna be done with these.
Isn't it so much better when you don't have to go through the Yeah,
Yes.
that's why I deleted all that shit out of it because I just couldn't handle it anymore.
I couldn't take it.
No, it was getting to where I was ready to like I was gonna no, it just was.
All right, you're in charge of comments now. All right,
I'm in
I'm
charge of
doing the
comments.
next
Well,
one. What?
I am gonna have to run to the potty while you talk.
Well, you can do that. That's
I
fine.
had to talk for like 40 minutes because he doesn't understand how to talk for 5 when he says he's going live for 5 minutes.
Well, buckle up because this next one is just as long. So
No,
they're all so long, but that's okay. We're gonna do our best and have a good time. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's get into his next one. It's the same day because he didn't have enough to already say. So we're still in 11/20/24. And this one is entitled Owens v. Echard Update. David reads Judge Mata's bar complaint, which I'll be honest, it was a pretty good title. He capitalized the right words. So he did a pretty good job there with that. So let's see what this new breaking news is for the day of November 20th, 2024. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. It's David again. Anyone else watch the guy on YouTube, Sretton, who does BMW repairs and rebuilding in Germany? No, David. Nobody even knows what you're talking about. It's a very different demographic, I'm sure. This guy has the best YouTube channel and the best opening line. Coming up, it's the best trademark. Every single video coming up. I love it. Love it. Threatened M539 Restorations or something is his channel. Anyway, today is November 20th, about 3:30. I did a live stream this morning. I don't know how well that went. I tried to follow up and I said that I would. Oh, I just realized my video is too small here. Coming up. There it is. Video size. Coming up. Great. Great. Glad he has a tagline now. I tried to follow up with a video with Laura. And again, I'm an amateur hour here, guys, and this is too big. I actually sat down with her and we filmed a little thing, and the audio didn't work. The purpose of it was to read a DM that I got from somebody named Anya. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I shot the video with Laura. It didn't work. I then reshot it myself and I didn't like it. It wasn't coming across the way I wanted it to. Sorry, guys. This DM I got from this person, I'm sure that's not her name. It's a burner account, so I don't think I need to hide it. But it was a very, very long DM, and she made some really sincere comments to me about how I'm handling the case, how I need to do better, how I'm not acting as Laura's PR representative or any kind of representative in a beneficial way. Anya was friendly about it. She wasn't harsh. She was trying to ask me to do better and to reduce threats and not talk about people's children. Uh-oh. I responded to her and tried to tell her first that I agreed with a lot of what she was saying, and then I thanked her for her message. I wanted to read it just to show how seriously I'm trying to take things, even though a lot of people think I'm not taking things the right way or not presenting things the way that I should. Why does everyone think that, David? I think we know why. Anyway, I'm paying attention to you guys, the people who are reaching out and taking the time to share their views and opinions. I like that. I appreciate that. And I want to do a better job of communicating and helping everybody understand what's going on. The one thing I keep adding, and it's not something anybody really wants to hear, and it's not something I want to say, is I'm doing this argument in the Court of Appeals. I'm doing this legal job in the Court of Appeals. We know, David, we're very aware of what's going on. I said in my argument on page 1 of my brief that the facts of the case were almost irrelevant to the court's job. I think, first of all, I believe that 1,000%. Secondly, I think that people who care about this case, who are following it and watching all this stuff, that's the last thing you want to hear, right? You don't want to hear me say, well, we have these great legal arguments, so I don't have to talk about the facts. You don't want me to hear me say that. And I get that. That is frustrating to you and it feels evasive to you. It feels like, why am I not just confronting the elephant in the room? Was she pregnant? Is the sonogram real? Is it the sister's sonogram? I know that you guys want me to talk about that stuff, and I've tried to explain it in the best way that I can, and I'm doing a shitty job of it. Yes, you are. That I can't get into that right now. I can't get into the Court of Appeals because they don't want to hear it. That's the job that I'm trying to do. Focus on the Court of Appeals and get them to do the right thing legally. The PR side of it, I just can't. It's just not something I can do right now. And it's not because I don't want to. Rachel Mitchell is a factor. Until Rachel Mitchell, by the way, in case you don't know, Rachel Mitchell is the district county attorney for Maricopa County, the one that brought felony charges for Laura. That's coming. So, in case you don't know, you're joining us for the first time, that is who Rachel Mitchell is. Now, until Rachel Mitchell closes out the case and says that Laura can just go on with her life, I can't let Laura speak on things that the county attorney is looking into. That's just not what any kind of lawyer would ever do. Well, finally, he's realizing that maybe you should just shut up and quit talking, including your attorney. Well, he didn't learn that part, just the Laura part. So I have to, unfortunately, sit here with my hands kind of tied. What I can do in the meantime is try to focus on things that I can talk about. I don't know if it's interesting to anybody or not. I know that content on YouTube is king. Everybody wants minutes. I wanted to briefly say this about the issue of copyright law. I'm not trying to fight with YouTubers about copyright law. First of all, as people may or may not know, you cannot make money on YouTube unless you're monetized. In order to get monetized, you need a certain number of followers. You need a certain number of hours of viewing. So let me insert my shameless self plug here. If you haven't yet, please go over to our new channel at Couch Court with Llama, where very soon you are only going to see Buffy and I over there. So please go subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this stream that's going on over there. I think we're at what, like 250 subs? We need 250 more to be monetized so you guys can get memberships and fun emojis and super chat, all that fun stuff. So please go do that at Couch Court with Llama. All right. End of shameless plug. Now, that's why I felt that people, and I know there are JFC people who are replaying my channel and making it so you can watch my videos without giving me the view credit for it. Whatever, guys. It's not fair use to do that. I think Dave Neal even made a comment about fair use. I actually had a stack of law books. I know people don't want to hear this crap. I studied this in law school. There's actually a section. This is my copyright textbook from law school. There's a little section. Look at that. Do you see that? That is from 1999. The little tag is still there. Fair use. Because the law changes over time and so forth, the Copyright Act has not been modified in any major way. But this book is 900 pages. I wouldn't go back to this for anything current, but it just shows the effort. So you're not going to use it to refer to your things now, but okay. All right. All right. Thank goodness we brought that up.
And put the QR code up.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not going to try to attempt to point because I don't know which way it looks like on your screen because
there
it's always
somewhere.
back ass words for me. But I'm sure you can see a QR code. I don't have to point to it.
Thank you. I keep forgetting to do that. So thanks for the reminder.
That's okay.
All
Dan
right.
Montana's on top of it.
Thanks, Dan Montana, having our backs. So I had to read this. I had to read Understanding Copyright Law. I highly recommend that one. It was good. I also read the entire. When you study for the bar exam, you get, whoa, what just happened there? My camera just went away. Welcome to being streamer, David.
Gingras, not llamas.
No, That's true.
Streaming is dynamic, bestie. So get used to things just stopping working in the middle of your stream.
Yep. Not embarrassing at all for millions of people to see, even in the future. So you get these law outline things. So there's an entire intellectual property section. Copyright is intellectual property. The entire section read cover to cover in there. If you're not trying to fight people on copyright, I'm not trying to take away your ability to engage in fair use. If fair use is not infringement, it's not a defense, and fair use is not infringement. It's just that taking my stuff and using it to make money on your channel so that I can't make money on my channel, I don't think that's fair use. I don't think a judge would think that's fair use. I'm trying to pretend like I can see you because I'm tired of the reflection in the glasses. Anyway, let me give you some content if anybody cares. Here's something. Oh my goodness.
He's like, I'm going to pretend like I can see you because I'm tired of the reflections in the glasses. Okay.
Ridiculous. Oh no, what's happened to my screen? Never mind. We're fine. Everything is
Oh
fine.
no.
We're fine. All right, where was I? People seem to love this stuff. I feel that I have people criticizing me for being too critical or other people. All right, fair enough. Guess what, David? People have lots of opinions on YouTube and they love to tell you about it. Get used to it. But people seemed like they were really interested in this bar complaint from Judge Mana. I mentioned that it was a thing. 234 pages, by the way. Don't worry, it's not that long. I think as a show of good faith and that I have nothing to hide, I wanted to share this with you guys with a little bit of extra information about it. Now, I have responded to the bar about this already in detail. I sent them a long response. I'm not going to read that, but I think to dispel any doubts about what's going on here and is Gingras going to lose his license and all, let's just take a quick read through this, okay? Oh, you're not going to read your side of things, just modest. Got it. Okay. All right. Cool. For transparency's sake. Okay. So Judge Mata, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. I skipped one. I'm not going to post this bar complaint anywhere. It's not necessary. Also, I don't think it's, well, I'll reserve my comments until the end about what I think about it. I'm sure he will. So Judge Mata, September 17th. My birthday is September 14th, by the way. So this was my birthday present from her. I'm a September birthday baby too, David.
Oh.
The 27th, in case anybody wants to mark their calendars. Thanks. No, just kidding. And I am enjoying the new microphone. Barry White all day long. And I will do Omar impressions when I get a chance. Oh God, does this mean I don't even know how I would do.
He's committed to the bit. He's going to work on his Omar impressions.
I'm sad we don't get to see that actually happen.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm really actually kind of sad we don't get to see them. I'd like to see how well he did. How do you do an Omar impression? Like, what's an impression of Omar? Like, does he do anything like that's impressionable? Like, he just kind of talks.
Maybe it's the smooth, silky voice Omar has.
Oh, well, I don't think that's going to happen for you.
I think so, yeah.
No.
All right. So, okay. So, quote, to whom it may concern FC, which is the Owens versus Echard case number, was heard on June 10th. The case had substantial media and social attention. How did you know that? Well, I guess. What do you mean, how did she know that? Are you kidding? Anyway.
But how did you know that if you weren't following the case and reading all of the Reddit blogs and checking out my personal blog? And how would you know that if you weren't a part of JFC?
Right? How would you know that you needed an overflow room? Or that there were media requests? How would she know that? That's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, quote, at the case's inception, both parties were not represented. Petitioner Laura Owens retained several attorneys during the litigation, but the case was ultimately tried by Mr. Gingras. It was not really a trial. It was an evidentiary hearing. We know, but you also keep calling it a trial. You literally called it a trial like 18 times in the last video, but okay. Respondent Clayton Echard was represented by Greg R. Woodnick. Due to the media attention and all concerns expressed by petitioner, measures were taken to provide safety to all participants, freedoms of the press, and transparency. Prior to the hearing, petitioner's request for a security escort from counsel's car into the courtroom while in the hearing was granted. But how did she know that it was in the media? How did she know? How did Mata know, you guys?
I mean, it couldn't have been the full like fleet of security he asked for, right? Couldn't have been
No.
something like that.
No.
No.
Or all the times Laura asked for her stuff to be sealed because the media.
Yeah, it couldn't be any of that. There's no way she could have known that
No
unless
way.
she was on the Reddits.
Or read David's blog, of course, because that's where all the breaking news really happened.
Or her father wasn't giving her minute by minute updates on the actual case.
Right.
Because, he was here for that shit show.
That's right. Let's see. This is an issue that I raised to the bar. I never made a request for a security escort to Mata. I'm pretty sure he did, though. Pretty sure that did happen. I asked her for a hearing so that we can talk about this Mary stuff in an organized fashion. I made an emergency request for a telephonic or in-person hearing that the rules said she was required to give me, and Judge Mata waited 3 weeks and then denied it with no explanation. So I never made any request for a security escort to Mata. I called, and this is maybe more detailed than you needed, but Laura expressed concern about safety to me. I looked into hiring security, and then I tried to do it the right way. You can't hire off-duty cops to be with you, and it turns out that court security didn't want us to do that. And the Maricopa County Court has its own court security department. I talked to them and was liaising with them. I never realized this with Mata, or I never raised this with Mata. She never granted any request, which I feel, the way that this is written, feels a little bit deceptive to me. Oh, does it? Okay. I don't know if it's just a wording issue or what. She did not grant a request from me, or maybe she granted it behind the scenes after I talked to the court security guy. Maybe he had to get her consent. I don't know. Let me see. Quote, along with measures to ensure any parties with an active order of protection or injunction against harassment were kept the appropriate distance from each other. Again, I've told the bar that, in my opinion, that is not a truthful statement. The Marraccini domestic violence restraining order required him to be 300 feet away from Laura. He was not kept 300 feet away from Laura. And the horrors, you guys, the horror. By the way, side note, Buffy, when I was going through all those Turtle Boy videos to find the clips and stuff they talked about in the complaint, I realized that when I say all, that's exactly how Turtle Boy says it too. Oh, and I just kept hearing it over and over and over again. And I was like,
I know when I was
Buffy's going to comment so much.
When I was clipping the ones that you sent me timestamps for, and I heard him say it, I was like, oh my God, am I the only person that doesn't say it like that? And you'd be like, oh, there's there's an exaggeration on the A that's not like anything I hear down here, but it's so cute anyway.
And I was like, damn it, Buffy's going to love this.
I'm going to just start talking like that. My accent's going to be all over the place. People are going to ask me where I'm from. I'm going to be like, I was born here. I don't know.
I can't wait. We're going to have such a good time with that. Again, I've explained all this to the bar. Whoa. I've provided them documents on my side of it. It is what it is. Quote, prior to the trial commencement, court security and Maricopa County Sheriff's Office advised the court that counsel for petitioner called 911 from the parking lot. That's not accurate. I was inside the building, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. She got that wrong. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Lies. Get her off the bench now. Jeez. Quote, attempting to have Michael Marraccini arrested for violation of an order of protection that petitioner had renewed in California. With court security and MCSO present, the court is unsure why 911 would be necessary. Well, since MATA never allowed a hearing to discuss any of this, Mike Marraccini was not allowed to be within 300 feet of Laura, and he violated that. One thing I said to the bar, which is kind of ironic, they were curious. Why call 911? Well, I was told to call 911 by the guys on court security who have like sheriff deputies at the courthouse. They're court security. They said they could not take a law enforcement role, even though they were law enforcement. I guess because they couldn't leave their security post or whatever. The court security guys told me, look, you have to get Phoenix PD down here, and the only way to do that is call 911. So that's what I did. Now, I feel like if this happened, the security guard didn't think he was going to actually do that, because why would he? But he did. We listened to it last week, his call, which was ridiculous. So that's what I did. Also, ironically, this is an email from MATA's clerk from April 4th on some unrelated thing. But MATA's own clerk said if any person believes they're in danger or are a victim of a crime, call 911. That's MATA's own clerk saying that. She wasn't. Ugh. I wasn't trying to be dramatic about it. I tried to do everything I possibly could to avoid having to do that, including asking MATA for a hearing, which she said no to. That morning of court, the morning of June 10th, when Greg Woodnick walked in, I saw him coming in. I tried to speak to him about this so that we could have a civilized conversation about it. About, hey, can we do this in some way where I never said Marraccini can't testify. I just said he can't be within 300 feet of her. So, what can we do? Can we have her leave the courtroom and then he can testify? Woodnick would not speak to me. Unbelievably unprofessional on his part, and it put me in an impossible position. Laura was demanding that something be done to protect her, to keep this guy away from her, because we already had a court order that said he had to stay away from her. So that is why. If Judge Mata had asked me why, if she's unsure why 911 was necessary, because court security said I had to call them. Your clerk said I should call them. Quote, law enforcement was already present. Yeah, okay. Law enforcement who said they couldn't help unless I called the other guys, Phoenix PD, which I did. Quote, this court, through security, advised the responding police officers that Michael Marraccini was responding to a valid subpoena. That's a disputed fact. There was a subpoena issued by Woodnick that I did not know about because he attached it as an exhibit to some 70-page thing rather than giving notice, which he was required to do. I had no idea. What? Guys, you expected Gingras to read all of this stuff? Come on. Or was it before his time? What is it? He had no idea, guys. An Arizona subpoena is not valid outside of Arizona. So the Arizona subpoena that Woodnick claims to have obtained and served on Marraccini had no legal effect in the state of California. It could not compel him to leave the state. So that's why I was arguing. Hang on a minute. This guy's not been validly subpoenaed. I wasn't trying to keep him from talking. I was just trying to keep him from breaking the order. That's all.
He was just looking out for you.
Yeah.
He was just looking out for you. He was just trying to help you out. Free legal advice.
Outstanding citizen. But Judge Mata told the police, do not detain Marraccini. I believe that was improper and unlawful. I have told the state bar why I think that. There's a federal statute that requires all law enforcement in all states to honor court orders, domestic violence orders from other jurisdictions. Without question, they are required to honor them. Mata not only did not honor the order, she instructed police officers not to enforce it. That's extraordinary, I'll say at the very least. So, anyway, quote, the court is unclear why this witness was identified and an arrest requested because he was breaking the law. Okay. Quote, the parties and some witnesses have competing orders of protection and injunctions against harassment. While the court is unable to find this as witness tampering, given the totality of the circumstances and pretrial litigation regarding the subpoena and witness Michael Marraccini, it strongly appears to be an attempt to prevent his testimony by counsel, end quote. Again, I don't like people making accusations against other people without. When you think someone's done something wrong, you should talk to them first and say, hey, Gingras, why did you do that? I would like information because I have questions about what you're doing. Right. You don't just run out and say, oh, somebody did something wrong before you ask them for their side of it, which is what I did. And in fact, she criticized me for this. You'll see in a minute here. Okay, so it was not witness tampering, but it appeared to be an attempt to prevent his testimony. I'm going to address this because I think people need to know the truth, because this is just not even close to the truth. Respondent, so that's Clayton, intended to call Mike Marraccini, Greg Gillespie, to prove evidence of other, end quote. The court previously found their testimony to be relevant and admissible. That is, she did say that. She never dealt with the order of protection issue or the harassment. The domestic violence restraining order issue was never ruled on by Judge Mata prior to the trial because I asked for a hearing and she didn't give me one. She didn't give it to him. They're very upset about it. Okay, so she talks about that stuff, the 911 call, basically. And then she switches to, quote, during the petitioner's cross-examination, Mr. Gingras appeared to be signaling his client with sweeping arm movements, making an X with his arms, sweeping his arms along the front of his body, and it appeared to be an attempt to prompt certain responses, end quote. Is he just going to say, I'm just practicing for my interpretive dance class? That's all, Your Honor. It was nothing.
Was it the flags that Lainey talks about?
Or Hellville, did he bring props to the court?
He did.
Fine. Totally normal. Nothing to see here.
He was just stretching.
Just stretching. I wonder what response she thinks I was trying to prompt. Anyway, so that's all he has to say about that, which is wild because she is accusing you of sending hand gestures to your client on the stand, which I'm obviously not a lawyer, but I imagine that if one is accused of doing that, that's a very serious accusation.
Sure, he wasn't giving hand gestures to the judge. It wasn't like.
But he doesn't have much to say about that. Anyway, quote, once counsel for the respondent stood between Gingras and Laura, she became agitated, emotional, asked for recess, which was granted. One thing that's important, that's one paragraph. Obviously, I was not coaching her. I don't even know what that means. Shut up, mister. I'm going to use sport references for literally everything, particularly baseball. And you don't know what that, stop it. And you're a lawyer. You don't know what coaching means? How?
It was a football reference in the last video.
He's done all the sports. There are cups, there's baseball, there's football. But he doesn't
Can't
know
wait
what
for the
coaching
mixed metaphors because you know they're coming.
I'm sure when he took the bar exam twice, the whole time, they never talked that you shouldn't coach your client on the stand?
It
Come
wasn't. He
on.
was stretching. God, you guys just make up shit.
We do. We just make up all the shit. This was a bench trial in which the judge was sitting right in front of me, looking at me. If I was trying to coach her, don't you think the judge would see that and rule adversely to me? Deandra, in the hearing, threw out a little childish line about, Your Honor, I think Mr. Gingras looks like he's trying to coach. Because I was doing this, trying to tell her, stop, stop. What was happening? And the trial transcript shows this. Oh, I'm sorry. What was happening? And the trial transcript show this.
Wait a minute. Because he was doing this, trying to tell her stop, stop. Is that not hand gesturing
Yes.
or coaching?
Yes.
Is telling your client to stop not coaching?
Well, not to him. No.
Oh, okay. I'm
Also,
sorry. We're going by
never-
his definition.
He also hardly ever objected while she was up there, which was very interesting to watch. But yeah, that doesn't count.
Because I was doing this and I don't know what gesture, because obviously we don't have the visual of this, and there's someone is not entering. He gestures wildly. Yes.
There we go.
But I would think any type of I was doing this, trying to tell her to stop, is a coaching movement. Okay. So you just said you didn't do it, but I did. Okay. Got it.
Now, what was happening? And the trial transcript shows this. I've showed the bar the trial transcript. They have the video as well. Deandra was interrupting Laura on the stand. Laura was trying to answer questions, and Deandra kept cutting her off. The court reporter on her own stopped the testimony twice, at least that I could find, and maybe more than that. The court reporter said, You guys are talking over each other, and I can't hear you. I had the exact same problem because I have ringing in this ear really badly. I've seen people say, Why didn't you tell the judge beforehand about it? I didn't know how Deandra was going to handle things. I didn't know she was going to be that rude and disrespectful and interrupt a witness until it happened.
You should have seen it coming, bro. You should have known. You've passed the bar exam twice. 2 states the first time. You should have already known that was going to happen.
And he would never do something like that. Come on. Why would I warn somebody about something I didn't know was going to happen? I can hear fine when people are talking one at a time. When people are talking over each other and interrupting, it's like nails on a chalkboard in my brain. I can't hear. Okay. So is that his excuse of, well, I didn't know she was lying on the stand. I couldn't hear her because Deandra is so loud. That damn woman and her loudness and interrupting.
I'm sorry. I need closed captions.
Oh, Deandra. She just likes the sound of her own voice, Your Honor. I'm over it. Probably left that comment. But again, did Judge Mata have the courtesy of asking me if there was an issue? No, she didn't. If she had asked me, if she had a good faith concern about coaching, all she had to do was ask. I would have said, Your Honor, Deandra is speaking over Laura. I can't have 2 people talking at the same time. The court reporter can't either. Why didn't you object then, sir? You have that power as
because he couldn't hear. He didn't know he was supposed to.
That's so crazy. This excuse is wild to me. So how is somebody supposed to know that you don't hear well out of one ear? Just how is anybody supposed to
Can't look at him and
that?
tell.
Right? And the court would have said something about it. This happens in depositions, by the way, a lot, where people do this. You bring it up and you deal with it. Okay. If there's a judge there, well, what judges in depositions? But in hearings, it's a common thing for people to talk over each other. It's a common
Is
thing
it?
for that to be a problem. So if it's so common, why didn't you say something about it, David? You're the
Is
one
it
with the
common
problem.
though?
So,
I've watched a bunch of hearings and I don't usually hear people talking over each other. They do have decorum.
no, but when it does happen, it's fun.
Oh, I mean, yes.
I was trying to deal with it as best as I could. You could have even wore the headset things like
Well, yeah, he wouldn't
the
look cool.
judge from the Greg Gillespie, the last
Doesn't
hearing
really
he had.
go with the tux.
That's true. That's true. Judge Mata thinks I was coaching. I was not coaching. I
Mm.
would testify to that under oath. Laura would testify to that under oath. I don't know if you want to, that means literally nothing to us, but okay. Watch the video and make your own conclusions about it. But that's what actually happened. So, issue number 1 is the 911 call. Issue number 2 is an arm sweeping. Issue number 3, she says the court issued a ruling dated June 17th. It docketed June 18th. The court received an email from Mr. Gingras on the 17th demanding the following. This is where I asked her. You guys have seen this before. I didn't ask the judge. I said, Dear Judge Mata's Division, this is her clerk. Greg Woodnick had emailed Mata's clerk multiple times directly. This is not about you emailing them. It was about your list of demands that they respond to this by 5 p.m. or you're going to have the babies. That was pretty much what happens. Let's see. I didn't know that was in normal civil court. You don't do that. Woodnick, throughout the case, was emailing the clerk copies of things that were filed. I actually emailed the clerk and said, Do you want us to send things to you directly? And she said, Yup, I sure do. So I was fine with emailing the clerk before. Greg was fine with emailing the clerk before, and Greg emailed the clerk about other things too. So I emailed the judge's clerk, and this was sent from a cruise ship. I'm asking her basically, was your dad there? Can you answer these questions? I said in there that it was an extremely unusual thing for me to make this kind of request, but it was urgent. And I just asked for this information. Is this a demand? Quote, I respectfully request a response from the court tomorrow. You left out by 5 p.m. It was an unusual thing to have a judge's father there and have people say that he had talked to them, that he had told them that he had talked to her about the case. This was urgent. The issue, which I didn't, this is her complaint. In my response to the bar, there's an ethical rule that has been raised that lawyers are not allowed to impugn, make a knowingly false statement impugning the integrity of a judge. My request to Mata, I believe, was ethically required because I didn't want to make a false statement. What if these people were lying? What if JFC was lying about the dad being there? I was on a cruise ship in Europe. I had no way of knowing any of this because technology didn't exist in 2024 or the internet. I didn't know who the dad was. I couldn't watch videos from the cruise ship. Were you too cheap to pay for the Wi Fi? So I felt rather than rushing out and making an accusation against her, as she has done against me without giving me the courtesy of talking to me first, I tried to give her the courtesy of talking to her or asking her clerk to just tell me, are these things true? Was the dad there? Did you talk to him? And so forth. Okay. That is ethically required, in my opinion. There's nothing inappropriate about that. It shows responsibility on my part to try not to make false accusations against a judge. That's going to go in a public record, but right. I was investigating it. Quote, of note, Mr. Gingras demanded the court respond to him by 5:00 p.m. Litigation by email is inappropriate. Again, this is not litigation by email. This is me trying to comply with my ethical duties to investigate misconduct by a judge before claiming misconduct by a judge. Quote, this court responded instructing the parties to file any appropriate motions, end quote. Again, that wasn't helpful, but that's what she refused to answer the questions. Quote, Mr. Gingras filed a notice of change of judge on July 8th, end quote. And this is the part, quote, while the court takes no issue with the notice, end quote. So she doesn't dispute the allegations in the notice of change of judge as far as conducting an independent investigation, as far as talking to her dad about the case. She says nothing to the bar about either of those points. Instead, she doesn't like the daddy comment. And I think, David, she didn't address that because it's moot. It doesn't really matter. Her dad's allowed to fucking show up there.
The daddy comment was really fucked up. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yeah, it was. Okay. And that's it. So the issues that she raised were 911 call, sweeping of hands, litigation by email, and again, when I responded to the bar, I gave them a copy of an earlier email. This was obviously June 17th after trial. And before trial, Woodnick sent a very similar email directly to Judge Mata's clerk dealing with my request for court security and Marraccini. But how did Judge Mata know? How did she know? It's crazy.
Wild guess.
This was not ex parte communication. It was not litigation by email. There's nothing inappropriate about this email. It's the opposite of inappropriate. It's the responsible thing to do. So, 911 call, sweeping hands, email, and daddy. Those are her 4 issues. Now, I have responded in full to the bar, but I actually did. Well, I'm not even going to go into what I did. I'm not going to share my response. It's too long and way too detailed. I got time. I got all the time, David. I will happily read that thing. I will say one thing. When Mata filed that complaint I've experienced before, I had previously in July submitted a complaint about Mata to the Judicial Conduct Commission. There's a rule that says if you file a complaint against a judge, they're not allowed to retaliate against you. I have reported to the commission that Judge Mata has retaliated. I believe that she has twice. Once by denying Laura's motion for a new trial when Mata had no authority to rule on it, and then by this bar complaint. Okay, right. The retaliation rule says a frivolous bar complaint is retaliation. It says you can't do that. Okay. So I've asked the bar to dismiss Judge Mata's complaint, and I've asked the bar to report to the Judicial Conduct Commission that they find the complaint to be frivolous. I believe that it is frivolous. And in my response, I said, Judge Mata is a judge, but she's also a lawyer. And I believe that she has, as a lawyer, done things that would violate the rules of professional conduct that apply to any lawyer. Oh, David, you are just the foreshadowing of all the things that are going to come up in the next 2 years. Okay. So I basically counter complained against her to the bar, and I asked the state bar to look into her actions and whether she did anything, whether she did things to break the law. Just because you're a judge doesn't mean you're perfect, and it doesn't mean that you're above the law, ever. Judges take bribes and they're caught. Judges have slept with lawyers. Okay.
Oh.
I'm
what
not
are you implying?
right. I'm not in any way implying any of that is true here. I'm not doing it, but I'm going to tell you about it.
I'm bringing it up. But I am going to bring it up. I'm not saying she did that, but I'm just saying it happens.
But judges can get in trouble. I'm guessing the bar won't do anything. I think the Judicial Conduct Committee will do something. But playing by the rules is important for all of us. Every single participant, including me, including Judge Mata. Regarding this witness tampering thing, I want people to understand what actually happened here. Again, I walked through all of this with the bar in detail. I wanted to know, and I had a right to know, what Mike Marraccini was going to say prior to trial. It's required by Rule 49 of the Disclosure Rules, which is the family law version of Civil Rule 26. That'll get real confusing. The rules require parties to disclose a fair substance of the testimony of each witness. The only thing that Woodnick disclosed about Marraccini was, quote, he's going to come and say something. He's going to talk about his prior interactions with Laura and 2 prior alleged pregnancies and subsequent litigation, end quote. It was a single sentence long. That was all that he gave me. So when I first got involved, I saw the disclosure about Marraccini. I saw how lacking in detail it was. Marraccini never would have been allowed to testify in a normal civil case without disclosure. The result of non-disclosure is the person's not allowed to testify. So I picked up the phone and called the person listed as Marraccini's contact person, who's his lawyer, Randy. I forget what Randy's last name is. Anyway, Randy Sue Pollock, I think is her name. I asked her, can I get in touch with Mike? Can I talk to the guy? I just want to interview him. She responded very bizarrely, and ultimately she sent me an email and said he's not coming. He's not going to trial. And that's fine. Woodnick listed 9 different witnesses for a trial that was less than an hour for his side. You can't have 9 witnesses in an hour. Distracted. Sorry. So I didn't think Mike was coming. That all changed when I started to get disclosure from Woodnick just days before the close of discovery, where he started to give me text messages from Marraccini. That caused me to reach out to Randy again. This email, which was sent May 6th, details what we talked about. So I'm writing to you to document our discussion just now and explain my position. Per the email below, we spoke about your client 2 weeks ago. At the time, I said I just wanted to talk to him and hear his side of the story. It was nothing threatening, nothing nasty. Quote, I explained that if he was going to be a witness, I could and would be willing to subpoena him for a deposition, end quote. I thought we would go to California. It's pretty unusual for witnesses to travel from out of state. Dr. Deans didn't come from out of state. My expert did, but Dr. Deans didn't. Anyway, I said if he's willing to have a simple phone conversation, I can do a depo. No problem. In response to that discussion, you sent me the email below stating that he was not going to testify at trial. Yeah, you guys have seen this before. She emailed and just said, my client will not be testifying. Lawyers, by the way, are not allowed to lie to other lawyers. That's an ethical violation by itself. But I don't, okay. Things can change. So, okay. I'm not saying that Randy lied to me. Circumstances can change, but she told me on April 19th that he ain't coming.
I'm not saying she lied, but lawyers are not allowed to lie. I know circumstances could change, but she's not allowed to lie to me because it's
and I'm not accusing her of it.
But I'm not saying she did that here.
Planting seeds.
But I am going to mention it so that can be like I'm vaguely implying it. Like why do you do that all the time? All the time.
All the time. All the time he does it. Then, just days later, I found out that Woodnick's talking to him. Woodnick got documents from him, and all of a sudden, he's maybe going to come. So I email Randy, and I'm like, hey, that ain't what you told me before. Because counsel for Mr. Echard does not indicate Mr. Marraccini will be testifying in person in June, this is, of course, inconsistent with what you said below. So, to clarify, I called you again today and asked if it was possible for me to speak with Mr. Marraccini, end quote. These are friendly messages I left. Just, hey, I just want to talk to the guy. Exactly like I'm saying right now. Not hostile, not nasty. Randy's response was, and I documented this in an email to her, no, we are not willing to cooperate with you. Okay, people can be stubborn. So here's what I said. Quote, in light of that response, I want to make two things clear. If Mr. Marraccini intends to testify at trial, end quote, and I have an absolute right to know this, which I do, and I have a right to interview him, which is absolutely true. That interview can be done informally in a phone call. Discovery doesn't have to be a deposition. It can be a phone call. It can be an email. As long as the information is exchanged, that's discovery disclosure. So I offered. I didn't say, I'm going to haul him into a depot. I was like, can I just talk to the guy for half an hour on the phone? Whatever. So I said, look, that's what I'd like. And I said, either way, refusing to cooperate is not an option if he wants to testify at trial, end quote. If you're coming to trial and you're going to testify, the rules require certain disclosure to happen before he gets there. You can't sandbag people by waiting until the last minute and surprise, I'm going to tell you something you didn't know, which remember, Mike doesn't testify at all in this trial. So I said, look, if he wants to testify, he has to cooperate and let me talk to him on the phone. Quote, you suggested Mr. Marraccini may just show up at trial rather than participating as a subpoenaed witness. Excuse me, end quote. Look, guys, I sent an email to Randy May 6th. I'm documenting what she said. This is what she said to me. She said, quote, oh, he's just going to show up. He's not going to be subpoenaed. He's just going to be there, end quote. Well, that's where the domestic violence restraining order became a big problem. If he was subject to a valid subpoena, I think he could have testified. And I still think he had to stay 300 feet away from Laura. We could have made that happen easily. He could have appeared by Zoom. There were a number of different ways we could have done it that wouldn't have violated the order at all. Randy basically threatened that he was going to violate it just by showing up. So then I responded. If this is his plan, I need to be clear. If Mr. Marraccini shows up either as a spectator or a non-subpoenaed witness, end quote, could I be any clearer here? That's my Chandler Bing impression. Quote,
Really, I was
then,
going with Jerry Seinfeld. Like,
oh,
doesn't he just like
no,
he
he's
does
like,
the same
what's that
bit?
about?
Yeah,
That's Jerry.
sounds the
What's
same.
that about? Very different.
Wow. Okay, but it's got the same inflection.
Yeah, I guess. Then Laura will ask the police to have him arrested because that would be absolutely her right to do so. The domestic violence restraining order, which again, guys, you guys have seen it. Oh, it's just not going to go where I want it. It says right on it that traveling interstate with the intention to violate it, you could be charged with a federal crime. I mean, it's just, quote, if you do not obey this order, you can be arrested with and charged with a crime. Sorry, I gotta do. What's the deal with dingus?
That was
Well
really
done.
good. That was
Well
good,
done,
Peachy.
Teach. Love the old TV reference.
What is the deal with dingus?
Oh. I don't understand why I'm engaging in witness tampering
Oh,
for
we
simply
don't
telling
either.
somebody what a court has already told that person. It's
We're kind of over
absurd.
you too.
So I then clarify even further. I couldn't be clearer 1,000 times over. Quote, in short, I agree Mr. Marraccini can testify at trial without fear of arrest, provide he complies with the rules of procedure.
You're not really
That
funny in this video. I don't like it. I need you to go back to fun Gingras. You're just all like matter of fact and shit, and you're just kind of nah.
yeah. That means, among other things, I have the right to interview him. If Mr. Marraccini does not want to comply with the procedural rules, that's okay. I am more than happy if he wants to stay home. End quote. Assuming he hasn't been lawfully summoned, then he can stay home. If he has been lawfully summoned, that's different. But if he comes within 100 yards of LW, of Laura, without being compelled to appear by a valid subpoena, then he will risk arrest and prosecution for violating the order, just as the Court of California already explained to him. End quote. So then a couple other rules I'm going to mention. Quote, note rule ER 3.4F of the Arizona Rules of Professional Conduct provides a lawyer shall not request a person other than a client to refrain from voluntarily giving relevant information to another party. End quote. You, as a lawyer, cannot tell a person who's not your client that you don't want them to voluntarily talk to somebody else. You can't do that. That is witness tampering. The rules of professional conduct basically say, as a lawyer, you cannot try to get people to evade disclosure, and we're not going to cooperate. Don't cooperate with Gingras. So I explained. Based on this rule, I assume Mr. Woodnick has not instructed you or Mr. Marraccini to refrain from speaking to me. If that has occurred, it would be a pro se violation of the ethical rules, end quote. So, for the 1,000th time in here, quote, just to be clear, I'm not under any circumstances suggesting Mr. Marraccini should not participate in the trial if he has relevant information. Now, I closed out Mata's complaint already, but what did she say? Quote, this strongly looks like an effort to have Marraccini not be there. Really? This is me prior to trial, a month prior to trial, saying, I'm not under any circumstances suggesting Marraccini should not participate. All I am saying is, if he wants to testify, he needs to do it in a manner that complies with the rules and the law. And then I say, finally, please note it's a felony. This is witness tampering? For any person to unlawfully withhold testimony, to evade legal process, or fail to appear when legally summoned. For avoidance of doubt, nothing in this email should be construed as an attempt to cause Mr. Marraccini not to appear. On the contrary, I would very much like him to appear, provided he does so in a manner that complies with the rules, including the rule that requires a prompt disclosure of the substance of his testimony. End quote. Folks, look, you can hate me all you want. You can hate things I do. You cannot say, as Judge Mata said to the bar, without having the courtesy of asking me for my position on any of this. September 17th, Mata emails the bar and says Gingras is trying to interfere with a witness. Get him not to show up. It looks like it. This was 2 months earlier. This shows what I was doing, trying to do everything I could to respect Woodnick's right to have witnesses there that he wanted to call, while at the same time respecting Laura's rights not to have a guy with a restraining order against him come within 300 feet. This stuff isn't that complicated, guys. I think I did the right thing. Okay. I do not think the bar is going to find witness tampering. I've given them all these exhibits and things. I think this just shows, well, I don't want to slam Mata, I've been hard enough already. I think the facts speak for themselves. That's exactly what happens. The facts speak for themselves. I have acted in good faith as best I can throughout this case. I acted in good faith with respect to Marraccini. Now, to get half the story and think, oh, this guy's a bad guy, he's witness tampering. No, okay? I'm doing the best I can. Anya, I forgot she was even part of this thing at the beginning. Anya, check your DMs. I wrote you back if you're out there. And
Anya doesn't exist.
and I'm going to try to do better. You guys don't know what happens behind the scenes. I did a lot of things in this case that you don't know about, including talking to Woodnick when I could in manners like this, trying to get a difficult situation resolved in a way that was fair and appropriate to everyone. And these half truths come out. That's why I wanted to read Mata's bar complaint to you, so that somebody's going to get a copy of that someday and you'll read it and go, oh my God, Gingras is disbarred. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be disbarred. Certainly not for anything related to Mata. For anything else, I don't think so. I'm
Oops.
trying my best to follow the rules. I care about the rules. I love the rules. Other people don't seem to
We know.
care about them as much as I do. That's a shame. Anyway, that's enough for now. Have a great Wednesday. Again, I'm trying not to do this, but there's just so much to say. Well, sorry for the burp. That's disgusting, David. All right, guys. He hates
It's almost
me.
like this was your script to read.
He probably hates me. He's like, that damn llama. She burps all the time. I can't help it. Can't help it. All right, guys. Have a good week. Have a good day. Again, questions, you're welcome to send any, and I'll keep trying to do better. Thanks. And that's the end of that one. Oh my goodness.
Holy crap. That wasn't even funny, David. I'm disappointed.
It wasn't. Well, we did not get through as many as I thought today.
No, it's not going to be this week.
Nope. We only got through 2 of the.
You didn't see the
5.
timestamp?
I did, but
there's
I did, but I was
timestamps on all of
tired.
those.
I know, I put them there. I know.
So,
okay.
so yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all we can get through for today. We will be back on Thursday for covering these specifically, because there's plenty more of this nonsense of him saying the same thing over and over for 30 fucking minutes. But you know what? You never know what little gems are in them, and I'm a completionist.
Oh no,
so
they get better.
Nice. Okay, see, some hope there. Buffy has given.
I mean, no, they're bad, but like they evolve, and I feel like he becomes a little angrier.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I think he was trying to be like good natured in the beginning, and then it just kind of like spirals, or at least that's how I'm reading them. I could be reading them out of context.
No, you're probably right.
Feelings about him into them, but yeah,
he has a very big weak spot for people's comments on the internet about him, and it's not easy. We know, we get them, but at the same time, they're just fucking people on the internet who will say whatever they want. Who cares?
They used to upset me, and now I laugh.
Right, like, I'm sorry you took the time out of your day to leave me this comment that I didn't ask for.
Do you remember having to talk me off the ledge in the very beginning? You were like, it's okay. I'm like, I can't do this. They said something mean.
No, not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. It's fine.
Now it's just like,
right? Exactly. And you're like, I chose the violence today, Llama, by the way.
Oh, I
did.
I wake up, I'm like, I'm responding in a not nice way to this comment. I chose violence. And she's like, sends me the eyeball emoji and the face. What do you got?
Yeah. Get him, Buff. So that's all we got for you today. I am on at 2:00 today with Terry. over on True Crime and Wine Time. We're going to be doing murder updates because some crazy stuff happened last week.
Oh,
And I think we're going to be getting to some of the body cam footage from the night of the murders as well. So you don't want to miss that. That's at 2 p.m.
fun.
Eastern today. Tomorrow, Buffy and I will be back just on Couch Court with Lana. So if you haven't, go subscribe over there and hit
Buffy
the
will not
notification
be
bell.
there.
That's right. Buffy won't be there. It'll just be me. But we're going to be wrapping up the O'Keefe v. Reed wrongful death suit. Well, not wrap up. We'll finally be fully caught up. So we'll be in real time in the future from that. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. And then we'll be back Thursday with more low stuff. So I was so hopeful and thinking that we would get through these this week. And now I realize probably not. So that's okay. But anyway, thank you all for being here with us today. Appreciate you. You all get gold stars for hanging out with us during what is incredibly painful part to go through. Whether or not he sounded like we're giving him, who knows? We don't know, but there is that. Oh, we love you guys too. But all right, well, that's all we got for you guys today. Anything you want to say, Buff, before I hit the end stream?
No, I have a headache.
You have a headache? Yeah, I know.
I
was really hoping Thursday we'll be able to go a lot longer. We can't go long today because I have the afternoon stream. But yeah. Bring booze on Thursday, everybody. You're gonna need some day drinking.
Oh no, if I didn't have to go pick up the kid later, I definitely would.
Right.
I would drink for you.
Oh, I love that. The chat's gonna. I love that. The chat's gonna laugh. Love it.
The chat would regret it. The chat would be like, okay, no,
probably. All right, friends. Well, until next time, maybe this afternoon, I'll see you over there. Go forth and be amazing. All right. Bye.
Bye.